The story begins by showcasing the activities of the 12A class students at a high school in Thailand. They are celebrating their graduation, marking the end of a joyful and memorable school journey. However, farewells are never just filled with laughter. Some also leave behind unspoken wounds. For high school students, there's little to worry about, as finishing school represents a newfound freedom that they must celebrate in this moment. Class 12A consists of intelligent and talented students. Their friendship is known for being strong and unwavering, with each member looking out for one another. As a symbol of their everlasting bond, they place cherished mementos inside a memory box and bury it, vowing to open it at the right moment in the future. This box holds the key to many things left unsaid during their school days. 12 years later, the graduates of this Thai high school reunite at their alma mater. The event is organized by their juniors, and, as expected from such bright individuals, their careers have flourished, bringing them closer to their dreams. Among all the students of Class 12A, Proud is one of the most captivating figures. With her striking beauty and elegant presence, Proud has seamlessly built a successful career as a flight attendant for a prestigious airline in Thailand. Then, there is Tang Mu, the owner of Thailand's best-selling cosmetics company. Their former class president, Ko, has become an engineering specialist at a state-owned enterprise. Rindy, now a renowned photographer, has amassed wealth through his talent and passion for photography. Anichit has made his country proud as a professional bodybuilder, winning medals at the SEA Games. Meanwhile, Dr. Kai is not just a doctor, but also the owner of a private hospital, earning millions each month. Lastly, Ekawat has built a reputation as a contractor, overseeing large-scale projects. However, amidst all these remarkable individuals, the true stars of the night are Thap and Phong. The couple has been deeply in love since high school, and their enduring romance led them to marriage. Their devotion to each other has earned them the title of the eternal couple. Phong, demonstrating her unwavering loyalty, even resigned from her position as an executive accountant to become a devoted wife to Thap, who is now a pilot. During their conversations, Ekawat and Ko find themselves in a lighthearted debate about the number of students in their class. Ko insists there were only 30 students, while Ekawat firmly believes there were 31. Their discussion is cut short when a junior student arrives, serving drinks to the reunion attendees. Intrigued by her beauty, Ekawat asks for her name, but the girl simply smiles and replies that if he remembers it, he will know. Then, she walks away with a mysterious expression. Though her presence sparks some curiosity, the group quickly shifts their focus back to the festivities. The highlight of the night finally arrives, the opening of the memory box that had been buried for 12 years. With great pride, Ko retrieves the school flag, signed by every member of their class. But the treasures inside the box are not limited to the flag alone. Among the many nostalgic items, one letter captures the most attention, a love letter from Thap to Phong. As a result, Ko urges Thap to read it aloud to their friends. Feeling slightly nervous, Thap asks the mysterious junior student to bring him a drink before beginning. Finally, he reads his heartfelt letter to Phong, promising that he would never leave her and that he would marry her once he became a pilot. As he finishes, the room erupts in applause, celebrating not just the love story of Thap and Phong, but also the enduring friendships that have stood the test of time. It turned out that Thap was not the only one who had written a love letter to his wife. Phong had also written one for Thap 12 years ago. When their friends asked her to read it aloud, she refused and instead requested Thap to read it for her. The letter said that Phong didn't know when Thap would read this letter, but she just wanted to say thank you for always taking care of her and always forgiving her when she made a mistake. Apparently, Phong herself couldn't imagine what her next life would be like without Thap, and she was really serious about their relationship. To those who listened, Phong's words sounded romantic. However, for Thap, they felt unsettling, leaving him with a lingering unease after reading them. 30 items had already been taken out of the memory box, but Ko suddenly discovered one last item still inside. Perplexed, he asked whose it was, but no one claimed it. This made Ekawat even more convinced of his earlier suspicion that their class had originally consisted of 31 students, and the final item must belong to that missing person. Though some of them vaguely recalled that their class indeed had 31 members, none could remember the missing classmate's name. Then, unexpectedly, all their phones rang simultaneously, receiving a mysterious call. At that very moment, a junior student who had been assisting them at the reunion revealed her true identity. She was Nano, the forgotten classmate. Nano had transferred into their class midway through their 10th grade year, but she had now returned to the reunion, disguising herself as a junior there to assist them. Unfortunately, Nano did not have a good reputation among her classmates. She was known as someone who kept to herself and rarely spoke to others. Instead of socializing with her classmates, she often spent time talking on the phone with her boyfriend, Tant. Whenever her classmates invited her to hang out, she would decline, always choosing to go on dates with Tant instead. Over time, her classmates started to question whether Tant was even real. Some suspected he was merely a figment of her imagination. Their doubts, however, began to waver on Valentine's Day. While Fong received a small bouquet from Thap, Nano was sent an extravagant bouquet, far larger in size. Yet, instead of being pleased, she sarcastically remarked that if Tant truly loved her, he would have given her the flowers in person rather than sending them through someone else. Nano even attempted to give the bouquet to Fong so she wouldn't feel envious, but Fong refused, prompting Nano to hand the flowers to someone else instead. Seeing how romantic Tant appeared to be, Fong and the others became eager to meet him. However, no matter how many times they arranged meetings, Tant never showed up. Nano herself grew increasingly distressed over Tant's repeated cancellations. The disappointment was overwhelming, and at one point, she retreated to the restroom to collect herself. Seizing the opportunity, Fong and her friends decided to check Nano's phone to see if Tant was real or merely a figment of her imagination. Just as they suspected, there was no record of his name in her messages or call history. From that moment on, their suspicions intensified, convincing them that Nano had fabricated a boyfriend and that Tant existed only in her mind. This belief quickly spread, solidifying Nano's reputation as the weird girl. She became the target of relentless bullying from her classmates. Despite being known as an academically gifted class, her peers were also regarded as the most influential students in the school. Their intelligence granted them close relationships with the teachers, ensuring that whatever they did to Nano would never have any consequences for them. Shortly afterward, Nano was often pelted with paper, struck with a basketball, and had her desk defaced with cruel messages. But what happened that day went far beyond the usual bullying of high school students. Her face was left bruised and battered, yet her classmates remained utterly indifferent. From that moment on, Nano chose to leave the school and was never seen again. Back at the 12A class reunion, Thap stepped forward and called out Nano's name once more. She turned around and, with a confident smile, declared that she had returned. Then, she asked if they had missed her. Unlike the quiet girl they once knew, Nano now carried herself with flair, walking confidently before her former classmates, greeting them as if nothing had ever happened. Ko attempted to lighten the mood by asking about her current occupation. Nano responded with an eerie remark that she still often spoke to herself. Then, she began her long-awaited revenge. Nano started with Rendi, exposing his disturbing attraction to underage individuals, which had kept him single all these years. She did not stop at mere accusations. She presented evidence on the event's big screen for all to see. But Rendi was not her only target. Next was Anichit, whose history of doping scandals in the SEA games had resulted in his medals being revoked and erased from official records. And still, Nano had more secrets to reveal. Her next target was Ko. His construction project had collapsed, causing casualties, yet he had managed to escape justice by paying off a stranger to serve his prison sentence in his place. This had allowed him to remain untouched by the law. But Nano was far from finished. She then exposed Dr. Kai's corruption. His hospital, despite having very few patients, somehow generated hundreds of millions of baht every month, thanks to a money laundering scheme involving corrupt politicians. Nano's vengeance did not stop there. She went on to expose Tangmu and her illegal cosmetics business. Though her products had gone viral online, Tangmu had successfully covered up her fraud by rebranding under a new name, amassing wealth from counterfeit beauty products. This was too much for Ekawat to handle. He snapped and smashed Nano's phone in anger. But this did not faze Nano in the slightest. She already knew Ekawat's darkest secret, his abuse towards his wife, which had led to their impending divorce and his looming battle for child custody. While Ekawat was confident he would win custody, Nano held evidence that suggested otherwise, proving that he was unfit to be called a good father. With biting sarcasm, Nano expressed how thrilled she was to see her former classmates' success. She admired their unbreakable unity after all these years. But she also believed it would be unfair if their past sins remained unpunished. For 12 long years, she had waited for this moment. The pain she endured from their bullying convinced her that the perpetrators needed to pay for their actions. Fong could no longer tolerate Nano's relentless revelations, growing increasingly frustrated by her rambling. But Fong had made a mistake, because Nano also knew about her past misdeeds. However, it was not yet time to expose Fong. First, Nano had a bigger secret to unveil, one that involved Thap. With a chilling revelation, Nano disclosed that Tant and Thap were one and the same, a truth that Thap had kept hidden from everyone, a deception he had carried alone until now. Yet, Fong, proud, and Tangmu had already uncovered his secret. They had discovered the truth when they dialed the name Tant from Nano's phone, only to hear Thap's voice answering on the other end. However, Fong, determined to protect her relationship and Thap's reputation, spread false rumors about Nano. She claimed that Nano had been talking to herself all along and had never had a real boyfriend. Once the rumors spread, Tant, who was actually Thap, never reached out to Nano again. He abandoned her, leaving her to endure relentless bullying from their classmates. One day, Tant suddenly contacted Nano again, inviting her to meet up. But this was never his idea. It was a trap devised by his friends, who wanted to torment Nano in a sinister way. Thap felt a flicker of guilt and considered helping Nano, but when he saw the extent of her suffering, fear took hold of him, and he chose to walk away. At that moment, Fong appeared. She confessed to orchestrating the entire attack on Nano, all because she couldn't bear the thought of losing Thap. She even resorted to harming herself, hoping that her pain would keep Thap from leaving her. Nano wondered aloud, was Thap staying with Fong out of love, or because of her desperation and self-inflicted suffering? It no longer surprised Nano that Fong had to rely on antidepressants and carried scars all over her arms, remnants of the emotional turmoil she had endured. Then, Nano revealed a chilling truth. The drinks they had consumed at the reunion had been laced with poison that would claim their lives within minutes. Their only hope was the antidote, held in Nano's hands. But there was only one dose. She tossed it into the air, forcing them to fight for their survival. Friendships that had lasted for over a decade crumbled instantly. The once close classmates turned on each other, desperate for the antidote. Chaos erupted as they viciously attacked one another. Ultimately, Anichit emerged victorious, injecting the antidote into his body. However, Kai refused to accept defeat. Without hesitation, he stabbed Anichit from behind. According to medical knowledge, the antidote would now flow through Anichit's bloodstream, meaning that if they wanted to survive, they would have to drink his blood. Nano watched in amusement as they descended into madness, just as they had once mocked and tormented her. She wanted them to experience the suffering she had endured. Enraged, Ko lunged at Nano, demanding to know if she had truly orchestrated this nightmare. But Nano showed no remorse. She declared that she wasn't the one who had caused their downfall. They had done it to themselves. Their so-called friendship, their supposed loyalty, it had all been a facade. This was who they truly were. And then she delivered her final revelation. The so-called antidote was actually the real poison. One by one, their bodies weakened. Those who had consumed Anichit's blood collapsed, succumbing to their fate. Nano laughed as Ko lost his strength, his body crumpling to the ground along with the others. Soon, they all took their last breath together. For many, high school is a time filled with cherished memories. But for some, it is nothing but a nightmare. For Nano, it was a period of relentless bullying, slander, and heartbreak at the hands of a deceitful man like Thap. With that, Nano turned and walked away from the reunion, leaving the past behind. The story ends. Moral lesson from the story: if you bury a memory box, make sure you remember who you buried it with, or you might end up fighting over poisoned drinks with your friends. Also, if you're planning revenge, always bring snacks. It's a long game.